So what is the price that the world has paid for China's cover-up? It's hard to put a figure, a number, especially when millions of lives are involved. What we can measure, though, is how much countries are spending and losing due to the Wuhan virus. The global economy will lose at least $1 trillion. Leaders in different countries want to sue China to make China pay. Experts say it is not that simple. Can the long arm of the law punish the dragon? This report explores.
There is an avalanche of legal claims against China now. From the United States to Italy, individuals and governments are suing China for reparations. Last month, Missouri became the first American state to sue China. The lawsuit says Missouri lost billions of dollars due to the pandemic. It wants China to cut a check. There are more lawsuits that target China. The one in Florida demands $6 trillion in damages. And another case in Texas comes with a demand of $20 trillion. A ski resort in Italy has sued China too, saying that Beijing must cover its business losses. US President Donald Trump hasn't ruled out a demand for damages either. Some suggest countries should sue China at international tribunals, even the International Court of Justice, but international law experts say that may not work. The desire for compensation is understandable, but China remains protected by the doctrine of sovereign immunity. Also, Beijing is unlikely to accept the jurisdiction of the International Court of Justice.
At the ICJ, you have to understand that being sued at the ICJ requires the consent of the state that is being sued in some way, in one form or another. So in other words, China must consent in one way or another to the jurisdiction of the ICJ. Now this China is unlikely to do. I mean, of course, if you were in China's position, if any state was in China's position, it would perhaps not do so. And China has in the past not given consent to be bound by international, to be subject to the jurisdiction of international tribunals, such as in the South China Sea arbitration.
Some argue that China can be booked under WHO regulations, more specifically the International Health Regulations. Article 6 of the regulations say the WHO must be notified within 24 hours of any event that poses a risk. Something that could be an international public health emergency. While China can be accused of censoring, misrepresenting and suppressing valuable data, that alone may not be enough.
They hid the information for nearly 6 weeks from WHO. In other words, they are in breach of a binding international rule. The question, though, is what is the recourse for the international community? The recourse is little more than putting China in the dock and shaming it. But beyond that, the international community doesn't have any instrument to tame China or to punish China.
So far, no national government has announced its intention to sue China for the coronavirus outbreak, but several leaders are looking for ways to up the ante against Beijing. Making China legally liable and seeking damages is an appealing idea. But world leaders will have to come up with an effective way to do it. Viewer Report, WION. World is One.